Hey, everybody. Welcome to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology. We are talking to top Ohio State targets, commits, prospects from around the country. Today, we're heading out west to California and one of the country's powerhouse high school programs, Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, and four-star receiver, top 10 receiver, one of Ohio State's two probably biggest recruits left at the position in the class of 2022, CJ Williams. CJ, thanks for taking time, man. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. Sorry, I think you're cutting off a little bit. Hey, you got me here?
I got you. You got me?
It's kind of cutting off on and on. So I'm good.
Okay.
But thank you for having me. And I'm gonna go.
Let's just try to avoid the internet here and see what we can do, okay? Because obviously, that's the way the world works right now. We're one year plus into this pandemic, and nothing seems to ever work the way it's supposed to. How have you handled the last year? Have you been able to make the most of this weird year and a half?
Yeah, definitely. I think this year for me is just making the best of my opportunities, looking at the bright side of things. Being very optimistic when kind of looking at this from not only like a person standpoint, but recruiting, football, all that different type of stuff. It allowed me to focus on my game. During that extended off season. Get ready for this season. Allowed me to do a whole bunch of different things, spend more time with my family. So I'm very thankful for that. I think it built me as a person, as a young man, and then also as a football player. So
I saw on Twitter the other day you posted that you were apologizing to the media. You hadn't been able to get back to people because you were focused on the mission at hand. And for you guys at Mater Dei, that means winning every game you play. You played 6 games this spring and won them all, I assume, because that's what you guys do.
Yeah, definitely. So we played actually 5 out here in California. We played 5 league games. We won all 5, and we came out with the Trinity League title at the end, and that felt very good. So.
What's it like, CJ, to be on a high school football field against a team like St. John's Bosco, where they're literally, and I don't think people really grasp the amount of talent that you guys have on the field in that game. There are 60 players on the field in that game with Division I scholarships. Do you think that really sets you guys up to be ready to play in college football? Because you're playing against 30, 40 college players.
Definitely. Yeah. We're out there playing against the best of the best every single day, whether it's practice and then Friday nights, we're playing against the best of the best in Trinity League. I think every Trinity League team has over 10 players with Division I scholarships or stars or anything like that. So just having that opportunity to come out here and play against the best of the best prepares me, more for the college level, opposed to maybe going out there and maybe whooping on some teams that are in a lesser league than me or something like that. I think having the opportunity to play against high-level guys that know football just as much as me, they do the right thing when it comes to, getting to the ball every single time. Like, this is something I talked about with my dad. Like, every single tackle in the Trinity League is a gang tackle. Like, nobody's stopping on plays. Every player is, going 100% every single time. And I think it shows on the field. Like last year in that St. John Bosco game, I went against the current Buckeye and Court Williams. Yeah. I saw him line up across from me, his 200-plus pound body against line up across from me, over 75% of the snaps. And, just being able to go against guys like that and see kind of how their competitive edge works, it pushes me further in the offseason. And in the game, all right, I got a 5-star on me. I want to go do this certain thing. I want to show out this game. So.
I think it's just an interesting mindset that you have to play out in that sort of competition, because that not only, as you mentioned, are those guys on the field going to be playing against you in high school, but there's a lot of these guys that you're going to be playing against or with in college. How important is it for you as you start to look at the programs you're looking at? I mean, you have 50 offers listed. I'm sure you probably have 25 or 30 that you don't need to list. So, everyone in the country's offered you. You have the opportunity to play anywhere. How important is it to be with and be around guys who are like you in college, and not just talent-wise, but personality-wise, character-wise? Because I've talked to a number of people about you over the last year. This is our really first time connecting. Every time I talk to people, the words that I get first are, "Holy crap, this is a great kid and a really good football player." Like, how important is it to be around good people as you look at college football?
Yeah, I feel like that's the whole basis to my recruiting. I feel like I'm never going to choose a college without being on campus and being around the people, the dudes in the locker room, the coaching staff. I want a big thing for me, I think, is this coaching staff going to develop me as a football player, a student, and also as a young man? Are these guys that I'm going to, be around in the future, and even my teammates? Are these guys I'm going to want to invite to my wedding? Are these guys that I'm going to enjoy? And they're going to push me in the classroom. They're going to push me in every aspect of life. And we just be in, the wide receiver room. We can be competing in different things. I think I found that at Mater Dei. I think that's why it fit me pretty well. And I think a lot of the top college programs, which I'm blessed to be able to, look at and consider, a lot of them have that similar aspect. They have guys that are like-minded to me and, are coming and trying to be better people, trying to be better students, trying to be better athletes every single day.
When Emeka Egbuka, obviously, I'm sure you know Emeka, when he committed to Ohio State last December, he said that the primary reason he did was because he wanted to be challenged. And a lot of people, I think, look at that position room at Ohio State and think, why would you go there? And as other schools recruit you, they look at Ohio State's depth at wide receiver. Is that something you hear? Is that why would you even consider this school? Or do you think that that's in some ways an insult to what you can do?
I would say probably not as much as, from coaches, I wouldn't hear that. But I think from people with an outside perspective, maybe people that view my recruiting from the outside in, they may ask me, why would you go there? Why is that something you're doing? I'm very similar to Emeka. I feel like in that way, like I'm going to go there, I'm going to compete and be the best version of myself, and they're going to push me to be the best version of myself, and they're going to make me better. Dudes in that room like Marvin Harrison, Emeka, the cat that got in my class, Keon, Caleb, both very good receivers, and we all do something very different. I think just having that opportunity to learn from their game, even they can possibly learn from my game, just kind of pick up things that they do better than me. And I think that's a good thing to be able to do, is like come in, it'll be a wide receiver room that's set, and there'll be some older dudes I'll be able to just absorb, just kind of like a sponge, just gather information and just figure out how I can make myself better.
You have only right now, according to your internet profiles, only one official visit firmly scheduled, and that's to Ohio State on June 11th. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Alabama, USC, everyone else in the country is going after you, Clemson, et cetera. How do you start to choose which other schools get those visits? And when do you feel like you have to know which places are getting them?
Yeah, I figured out 3 of my official visits pretty recently. The first one I figured out was Ohio State. I was like, I want to get on Ohio State's campus. I want to shake Coach Day's hand face to face. I want to meet Coach Hartline, shake his hand as well, and then be in the wide receiver room, like we said, and just be on campus. My second official visit to the University of Texas is the following weekend. And then my third is to University of Notre Dame the weekend after Texas. So I'm kind of hitting 3 in a row right there. And I feel like to figure out those last 2, those would possibly be something that I'll take during the season, hopefully, and get a game atmosphere of the places that I'm thinking about. I think a big thing for me is like I can visit in-state schools with the cost of a very little to none. Just going to UCLA, USC, Stanford, and driving up there with my parents. And I feel like that's a pretty good thing that I can do. So I feel like the schools that I have kind of planned out are perfect, and I like where I'm at.
Obviously, you talk to Ohio State, I've heard about once a week. What is the relationship like with Brian Hartline right now? What makes him, as a guy that used to play the game, how does that change how you talk to him?
Yeah. I think the overall thing about relationships with Ohio State is, I have a good relationship with Coach Dennis, Coach Day, and then also Coach Hartline. The 3 guys I could go talk to. My special thing about Coach Hartline is obviously we've seen him do it at the college level, seen him do it at the pro level. So that's a guy that I feel like I want to be around and I can use as a resource, all throughout life in all aspects. Even if I'm fortunate enough to go make it to the NFL, he can give me insight on, maybe what to do with my money and how to stay in the league and things like that. I feel like that's very important. Also, he just sees the game from the same perspective as me. He's been there, he's done it. It's different having a wide receiver coach that play wide receiver, especially at the university which you're at, opposed to having like a wide receiver coach that was maybe a quarterback in college or something like that. So I think that's very beneficiary, and I feel like he's one of the best for sure out there. He knows the game inside and out just from what I talk to. And what I love about him is that I can go speak to Coach Hartline about anything in this world. We can talk about anything from bowling to fishing, anything for an hour or 2 hours, and I'll never get bored talking to them, and we can just take time away from the game, which is good.
Are you a good bowler?
I would like to say I'm pretty good. My family probably won't play with me a whole lot no more, but I like to do stuff outside of football to take my mind off. So I think bowling is one of those ones I like to do.
Ironically, and then maybe this is why. So a couple of years ago, Johnny Dixon, Paris Campbell, these guys all had like a bowling night every single night when they were on campus at Ohio State. I don't know why. They always just would go bowling like once a week just to get off campus. So who knows? Maybe they'll take you to the lanes. But CJ, how much pressure is there to stay home? Modern day, if we're being honest, a lot of people consider modern day sort of a USC feeder school, right? Like that's what people see. But then you have Malik Murphy, who you're close with, heading down to Texas, and he's all of a sudden saying, hey, I got to get this guy with me to Texas. How hard is it at this point in the world with the internet the way it is, with recruiting websites the way they are? How hard is it to know that you're making a choice for you?
Yeah. I would definitely. I'm agree with you on that statement. That kind of modern day is a feeder school in the SC. We have three commits on campus right now that I just had the fortune enough to win with, and then just play with. So, I think I ultimately will make the best decision for me, my parents, and my family. I think I have a very strong hold on what I believe in, and I'll leave social media out of it. I'll leave all this different stuff. I won't let the outside, things get involved. I think. I can stay true to the things that I hold, true to myself and, what I hold high on my list. Obviously, people always are telling you walk around campus, fight on, stuff like that and all that, but you kind of just got to zone it out sometimes. And you just got to, look at it with, open eyes, everything. I feel like for me, leaving California isn't a crime. I'm going to have to do it sooner or later, I think, in my life. And, why not do it earlier rather than later,
I've been told that you have the luxury of having two phones that you are able, and this is something I think this is fascinating about you, that you actually have a phone that you use only for recruiting purposes. And so that way you can disconnect, that way you can turn it off and disconnect from it. How helpful has that been for you?
Yeah, as a lot of people saw, and I bet a lot of reporters saw, I have the opportunity to just kind of turn that phone off during season or during workouts or just during family time. I like to spend time away from, recruiting especially, and then sometimes away from the game. If I need to just cool off, and I feel like I work out so much that sometimes it gets in my head and stuff like that. So just being able to turn off my phone and step away from football, just focus on things outside of that in my life. I think it's a good thing. My parents blessed me with it. It was my dad's idea. He came to me one day. He's like, you're gonna have to get two phones. The fact that you're such a highly recruited dude, and coaches kind of sometimes get bothersome with the messages and the calls and stuff like that. So at school, sometimes at home on Sundays and stuff like that, I have the opportunity to just turn my phone off and just relax with my family, which is cool.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate it. This has been, the last year plus, it's been a wild ride. We've tried to link up a few times, and then we finally do, and our internet connection is not treating us perfectly well. I've been told by people that I would find you enjoyable to talk to you. I could probably talk to you for a while. You seem like a very natural person, and I'm glad we got the opportunity. But I told you I'd let you take it quick tonight, so I'm going to let you get out of here on that. That's CJ Williams. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on Lettermen Row. Thanks for watching, everyone.